hear what I hear.
Welcome back to The Strongest Guild on YouTube. What's up guys, Soul here, and we have a lot to talk about in 100 Years Quest. Since we left our Ghost Guild member a few chapters ago, Hiro's been so hard at work on the new Heroes Fairy Tail crossover series, Eden Zero, and 100 Years Quest, but I suppose he wanted to end 2019 with a massive bang because I still can't believe we're getting all of these at the same time every week. That's absolutely insane. Plus, Mashima has been releasing some of the most beautiful artwork that he's ever done, and you can check out all of that and those beautiful color palettes he's using and updates on the new Fairy Tail series in the game at Soul_animation on Twitter if you're not following me there. Hopefully you're all keeping up to date on the manga as well. You can get all of 100 Years Quest Fairy Tail volumes on global.booklocker.jp from the official distributors in Japan and read them instantly. Plus get $5 off any of them when you use my code SOULANI in all lowercase. That link will be in the description. And as always, go get yourself some sick Fairy Tail manga there. Plus they have a massive selection of other series that you can choose from. So some really terrible things that maybe not everyone has noticed has happened since we left off at 100 Years Quest. But first of all, Kana, drunk out of her mind, almost uses fairy glitter, one of the 3 great magics, in the middle of the town. And it's not even that she's being controlled by the White Witch anymore. She's literally just so drunk out of her mind that she almost uses it. But as always, best girl Lucy Heartfilia arrives in the nick of time in her Aries beautiful star dress to save the day. And while she's searching for Kana's magic cards, Juvia says Lucy's probably just trying to touch Kana's breast for a certain reason, so Juvia can ask Gray if he'd like to touch her breast, and she holds them out for him. It was so funny. It's these classic moments that let you know that Hiro Mashima is still working on the story even though Atsuo is in charge of the artwork. Obviously, this is still Mashima's story. I don't know how they censor something like this in the anime. Like, it's so impossible. Like a scenario like this where Juvia's literally asking Gray to touch her breasts, like, and Kana's just drunk out of her mind. Like, how do you censor a series like this? I don't know. Anyways, as for the rest of chapter 41, we got Laxus fighting the Dragon Eater babe and absolutely just wrecking her. Honestly, people have been asking for more Laxus fights since forever. Still no Laxus versus Gildarts, which is what we all want, but Laxus fighting this girl who clearly has the hots for him, maybe it'll encourage Mira Jane to finally make a move on him now. But the unexpected happens when Urza shows up by herself to fight Laxus, leaving Jalal behind all tied up to a tree waiting for her to do it with him. And immediately she transforms into her Amantadine armor instead of sleeping with Jalal. She transforms into her armor for this super hype Laxus fight when she should be doing it with Jalal. She goes to fight when she should. You guys get what I'm saying? She should have been doing it with Jalal in this chapter, god damn it. But we still get this sick Laxus fight. And while all that is happening, Natsu finds the White Witch controlling Toka, who is passed out on the floor somewhere. And as he's about to straight up kill her, like Natsu of all people about to kill someone, she wakes up and hugs him. And I seriously thought she was about to kiss Natsu, and I felt so bad for Lucy, especially since that whole thing is happening while Kana is telling Lucy that Toka likes Natsu. And Juvia is telling Lucy that Toka's her love rival. And while Lucy begins to sweat and has this look on her face, sort of revealing her unreciprocated love for Natsu over the years, Lucy says, I kind of feel sorry for Toka. Natsu has no interest in that sort of thing. That thing meaning love. And then we cut back to Toka hugging Natsu. Now, with Jalal basically asking Urza to sleep with him, plus the recent chapter where the alternate guild fairy Nail, Natsu, and Lucy literally having sex in an office somewhere, obviously this manga is building the romantic relationships and possibly preparing for a next generation. But honestly, this panel of Lucy saying that she feels sorry for the girl who likes Natsu and is clearly projecting her feelings for Natsu, as in she tried all these years to be close to Natsu and is romantically interested in him, but he's not interested in her in that way. And maybe that means Natsu will never reciprocate Lucy's love for him because that's just the way he is, that's the way Hiro Mashima designs character. And sure, maybe I'm looking too much into this panel, but honestly, it's just so sad to hear Lucy say that Natsu has no interest in that sort of thing. Meaning he has no interest in her, in Lucy. I don't know. NaLu fans, let me know what you think in the comments, because this is pretty major. Will they never end up together now because of this? I mean, Lucy just came out right and said that, and I'm starting to think that's a possibility, that they won't end up together after Lucy said this, which is extremely, extremely sad after all these years. But as far as Toka goes, it was a huge misunderstanding and wasn't even Natsu that she loved. Natsu and Happy previously saved her without knowing it, apparently, and she thought Happy's name was Natsu, so Toka ends up actually being an Exceed cat like Happy, who is in love with him. So while Natsu may never love Lucy, Charles might be revealing her true feelings for Happy sometime soon, and Happy's relationship of all things might develop first because Happy's super interested in this girl Toka. Happy instantly calls Toka cute and forgets all about Charles. But before that goes anywhere, we're immediately back to super intense Urza versus Laxus brawling. Urza bringing out a dragon slaying sword and Laxus literally ripping her armor off her body with one single hit. Though she's fully clothed in that chapter 44 cover, well, that tiny treasure hunting adventure one button blouse is barely containing her massive bust, so she's still hot as hell. But anyways, Laxus goes off in his Red Dragon Lightning mode from the Alvarez arc, and these power-up manga panels really have me convinced that 100 Years Quest will be getting an anime, possibly next year, because these scenes really lend themselves to being animated. All these power-up scenes and fight scenes. I mean, the anime will look terrible if it's anything like last season, because Laxus is fighting with intent to kill in this. Like, Urza is again being tortured, and with straight up views of Urza's ass, of course it won't be intense in the anime because they ruin and just censor absolutely everything. Still, this fight is insanely hype in the manga. I mean, I think this is another one we've always wanted to see, Urza versus Laxus. Urza pulls out a Natsu Fire Dragon sword in one hand and a Gray Ice Demon sword in another, and it kind of reminded me of the time that Urza like stopped the fighting between Natsu and Gray in the final arc of Fairy Tail, where she like grabs them both and brings them like strongly to her chest and is crying, telling them to stop fighting. We saw that all animated recently, and it's always like Urza's in the middle playing a big sister type role for Natsu and Gray. And with those swords, she slices Laxus's chest open, blood, ice, and fire everywhere. Something the anime will certainly censor if this gets animated, but the blood just makes Laxus stronger and the fight heats up even more. Honestly, if this is animated, there's blood everywhere. Like, there's nothing they can do to avoid it. So if it's the same studio that screwed up last season, I'm sure everything will just look super cartoonish. Just remember when you watch the anime that right now in the manga, you can see Laxus's hand like filled with blood and Urza being tortured, her breast popping out all over the place, and this will probably all be censored, sadly, even though this is what Mashima intended. But at least for the manga, it has me hyped to continue this fight. Don't forget, if you want the 100 Years manga for yourself, global.bookwalker.jp. Use my code SOULANI. Follow me on Twitter for more fairy tale updates at @soul_animation. And I have some very, very cool fairy tale stuff to show you all in the next video. So subscribe, click the bell, and look out for that one. I'll see the guild in the Discord. Peace.
They fall to the ground, I keep picking them up. No matter where I go, trying to see beyond the shattered tears. But it's hard to carry